Pakistan has probably forgotten the year 1971. Taking into consideration the present situation in Pakistan, which is the BALOCH nationalist, separatist sentiments which are very high, talking about how the national integrity and the national unity of Pakistan is hanging by a very fragile thread. Pakistan is quite literally at this point of time, it is begging for a war. It is begging to be split apart again by India. This time it is begging to be divided into unrecognizable parts and fragments. पाकिस्तान की नीयत इस बार बिल्कुल साफ है। पाकिस्तान अपने पूरे मुल्क को गूगल मैप्स पे राजस्थान साइज्ड डब्बा बनाना चाहता है। Pakistan has no intelligence system, they have no geopolitical relations, they have no sophistication when it comes to understanding global geopolitical terms. They have a hollow, broken educational system of Pakistan. Came on international television, CNN, and claimed that they had shot down 5 Indian fighter jets, and the evidence was the reels which were resurfacing over Instagram and Facebook. So we realize how even the defense minister of Pakistan is trusting the funny Instagram reels over their own intelligence system of Pakistan. Now this is very important because we realize that there is no intelligence in Pakistan. अब ऐसा देश जिसकी अर्थव्यवस्था धरातल में हो, जो अपने ही बोझ तले लड़खड़ा रहा हो, जो उधार की सांस ले रहा हो, और तब भी मेड इन चाइना मिसाइल्स से भारत जैसे चौथे सबसे शक्तिशाली देश को चुनौती दे रहा हो. Some wounds are too deep to be forgotten and some actions cross every limit of humanity. Let us take you back in time. Let us take you back to Pahalagam, Jammu Kashmir on April 22, 2025. Terrorists, quite literally in the uniform of Indian Army, entered a tourist spot, a peaceful tourist spot, and shot 28 innocent civilians into their skulls and shot them dead on spot. They carried out one of the most inhumane and brutal attacks and genocide in the present times, converting a scenic beauty spot to a bloody battleground. Now, when situations were analyzed, it was realized that TRF, which is the resistance front linked to Lashkar-e-Taiba, claimed responsibility for this Pahalgam attack, but quite literally just a few hours later, they backed off and they said that they have not done anything. However, just a few hours later, Pak officials held a very high-level press conference in which the Air Force Marshal of Pakistan, Aurangzeb, Ahmed, called the 2019 Pulwama attack where 40 CRPF Jawans were killed a tactical brilliance. And this is the evidence which shows that all these terrorist groups and these terrorist hotspots have one safe haven, one breeding spot, which is the Pakistan. For years on end, India told Pakistan to stop breeding parasites, told Pakistan to stop training terrorists. Pakistan was told not to fund these terrorist groups. Pakistan was told not to attack innocent lives and not to attack civilians. But Pakistan did not listen. And the next 15 days after this attack, India closed all diplomatic ties and diplomatic retaliations were taken against by the government of India. For example, Indus water treaty was abrogated, the Atari-Wagah border was closed, SAARC visas were suspended, there were evacuation orders against all the Pakistani civilians in the Indian territories at that moment. Not only that, there was an expulsion of all the embassy staffs. Embassy staffs were reduced to half and the Pak military advisors were asked to leave India. However, the best comes at the last, and so was proven by the Indian government. A tri-services mission involving the Indian Army, the Indian Navy and the Indian Air Force was conducted in coordination, and they launched action missiles on 9 terrorist hotspots of POK on May 7, 2025. Now, these 9 terrorist hotspots included Jaish-e-Mohammed headquarters, Lashkar-e-Taiba main base, joint Jaish-e-Mohammed and Lashkar-e-Taiba base, Mujahideen facilities and TRF base in POK, entirely from the Indian airspace, and no crossing of borders was done by the Indian Air Forces. The operation was described as measured, non-escalatory, proportionate, and absolutely responsible. Not only that, we realize how through this particular act, through this particular retaliatory action, no civilians and no military disruptions of Pakistan was done. This strategic operation and missile strikes was done under the leadership of Colonel Sofiya Qureshi and Wing Commander Vyomika Singh, and this operation was named Operation Sindoor. Now, the name of this operation is highly important and of great significance, as it makes us realize how significant is Sindoor in Indian traditions, and the name itself gives us goosebumps as it is a tribute and honor to all the widows who have lost their loved ones and their husbands in this attack. Now, after the Operation Sindoor, Pakistan retaliated by aerially attacking 15 Indian military bases across Jammu Kashmir, Gujarat, Rajasthan and Punjab. It attempted to aerially attack all these places on Thursday morning, and however, India was already quite ready for it, and we have the S-400 Russian air defense system which was activated. These drone attacks which was targeted by the Pakistan. Now, we realize the difference between India and Pakistan here. Pakistan definitely intended to target all the military bases and the civilian areas of India, and India had made sure and had released an official statement that India is not at all going to target the civilians or the military bases. Pakistan also tried to attack and target extremely residential and densely populated civilian areas of Indian territories. They tried to attack Ludhiana, Kutch, Chandigarh, Falodi, Bhuj, Amritsar, Srinagar, Jammu and several districts of Kashmir. See how the intentions of Pakistan are absolutely to hurt innocent lives and hurt civilians. This is the difference between Pakistan and India. Ceasefire, which is the suspension of hostilities and militant activities between two warring countries, was mediated between India and Pakistan by the United States of America. And this news was confirmed by the United States President Donald Trump via a post on X, formerly Twitter, and this news was also reconfirmed by the US Secretary of State Marco Rubio, and he said that this particular decision was reached upon by India and Pakistan on neutral grounds. Now, this is very important. Why? Because just 3 hours after this particular announcement of ceasefire agreement was made by the United States of America and the higher authorities there, Pakistani government and the Pakistani defense system basically violated this agreement, and they started their shelling and drone attacks and explosions. Ceasefire was announced by the US government and the higher authorities. It is important to know how Pakistan had the guts and audacity to actually violate the ceasefire agreement and start the drone attacks, the shelling and explosions again in the Indian territories. Now, the news of drone attacks and explosions were coming from states like Jammu and Kashmir, districts of Rajasthan like Jaisalmer, Barmer, and also Sri Ganganagar and Pathankot. So it is important to realize how the way Pakistan has been violating the global agreements and the ceasefire agreement which was between India and Pakistan. This can only be because of two major reasons. First, let us analyze what the reasons might be. First reason can be the utter desperation, maybe lack of sense of geopolitical relations and agreements which are signed on global level by one of the most developing nations of the world and is about to become the third largest economy in the world, and also maybe a hollow educational system which is very prevalent throughout Pakistan if we think about it. Now, the entire system of Pakistan, the intelligence and the government of Pakistan and the decisions which is taken by them is actually powered by what? Social media, reels and the videos which are going viral over Instagram and Facebook, as Khwaja Hafiz, who is the defense minister of Pakistan, came on international television, CNN, and claimed that they had shot down 5 Indian fighter jets, and the evidence was the reels which were resurfacing over Instagram and Facebook. So we realize how even the defense minister of Pakistan is trusting the funny Instagram reels over their own intelligence system of Pakistan. Now, this is very important because we realize that there is no intelligence in Pakistan. Also, it is understandable how the decisions which are being taken by Pakistan and its defense system are entirely powered by YouTube conspiracy theories, and or they might be having WhatsApp groups like Pakistan Intikam Board with $1 billion of loan pending and due in IMF, or maybe they could have committee for revenge planning since 1971 with zero success rate in the year 2025, or the most famous of all, they might be having a WhatsApp group by the name of Junab is bar maqsad pura nahi hua. Now, this was the first reason. We are well aware how Pakistan has no intelligence system, they have no geopolitical relations, they have no sophistication when it comes to understanding global geopolitical terms, they have a hollow, broken educational system, and this all is pretty evident. This might be the first reason. However, when we analyze the second reason, what might be the second reason for Pakistan violating the ceasefire and actually targeting India? I believe that Pakistan has probably forgotten the year 1971. In the history of world, when India quite literally split and carved Pakistan into two parts, West Pakistan and East Pakistan, which we know as Bangladesh now. So Pakistan has probably forgotten that year. And into consideration the present situation in Pakistan, which is the BALOCH nationalist separatist sentiments which are very high, talking about how the national integrity and the national unity of Pakistan is hanging by a very fragile thread, and also the fact that it's now with its bold and hollow confrontations of Pakistan and the violation of ceasefire, it is very much a clear indication what Pakistan's intentions are. Pakistan is quite literally at this point of time, it is begging for a war. It is begging to be split apart again by India. This time it is begging to be divided into unrecognizable parts and fragments. Pakistan की नीयत इस बार बिल्कुल साफ है. पाकिस्तान अपने पूरे मुल्क को गूगल मैप्स पे राजस्थान साइज्ड डब्बा बनाना चाहता है. Every child born in Pakistan is currently under a debt of 86.5 thousand rupees. Not only that, if you talk about the June 2024 reports issued by the Pakistani government, you will realize how that country is currently under a debt of $256 billion, which if converted into rupees will be 21.6 lakh crore rupees. अब ऐसा देश जिसकी अर्थव्यवस्था धरातल में हो, जो अपने ही बोझ तले लड़खड़ा रहा हो, जो उधार की सांस ले रहा हो, और तब भी मेड इन चाइना मिसाइल्स से भारत जैसे चौथे सबसे शक्तिशाली देश को चुनौती दे रहा हो, न्यूक्लियर वेपन से अटैक करने की चुनौती दे रहा हो, जंग के लिए ललकार रहा हो, तो ऐसा मुल्क वर्ल्ड लेवल पे पूरे संसार को मनोरंजन प्रदान करता है और हास्य का पात्र बन जाता है. Now we will be talking about stats. Pakistan's annual military budget has been estimated at $10 billion USD, which is 8 times less than that of India's $86 billion USD. Now, with an annual military budget like that, Pakistan is most probably trying to understand the difference between comedy, circus, and actual action and defense. Pakistan at this point of time is quite literally trying to direct a flopped action comedy movie, which is a new genre.